All right. Wow. I need another blue colored machine, don't I? I mean, I literally need another blue. Now, if this isn't more of like a woman's kind of flare color, I mean, come on. I mean, right? I mean, sincerely, I mean, it's a cool color, but it's definitely more, I would say, feminine in some ways. I was only hoping they would go with a 117 motor on this bike this year. So, you know, you buy these bikes, they're so expensive. Do they give you heated grips? Probably not. It's just crazy. They give you cruise control. So that's nice. And you just know, I just know that next year, where it's all going, is it's going to go to the new platform. But let's go over here. Let's check out the Tri-Glide. Now the Tri-Glide over here, does it have the heated seat and heated grips? And man, if it doesn't, what's this all about? Oh, wow. Huh. Look at that. These are people that passed. Hate to think about it being on a motorcycle. So yeah, once again, so no heated seat. No heated, you know, it's all about save money. But what's different about this bike now, keep in mind, is this is not the fixed fairing. This is the Batwing. So this is a little different. Now that color, I mean, that's either really you like it or you don't. It's like a blood red. I mean, sincerely. So, but in this bike here, the advantage you have on this is you got a rear trunk and a rear touring pack. So you definitely have a little bit more of that love. And then this here is the RG3 in disguise with no fixed fairing up front, which I've always had my eye on that, but just never got into it. But you know what? The tires, I think it's the same bike for the most part. I've got my friends here.
What's going on?
Yeah, there they got the Skyline Harley Davidson crew here that have already come out, put my bike out front. Is it my bike? I don't know, man. You know, it's incredible. In person, this is definitely kind of like a feminine color to a degree. I could definitely see a lady being really excited about this color. And it isn't negative. It's just that this is kind of a little bit more of a tone different than I thought.
A pastel, right?
Yeah, exactly, right,
yeah.
right. So I think, and I'm not saying I don't like it, but at the same time, but the good news is you do have other options. You do have the new red lava, whatever you call it.
Yep, and then we also have a gray haze if you're looking for the Road Glide 3.
Yeah, right. Yes. So, but I mean, this is beautiful, but boy, in some aspects, I would honestly say, if I had, like, my daughter would probably love this. It isn't really about her, but I can guarantee you she would be like, wow.
Yeah.
Which is cool. And the reason I'm getting this, because I have friends that know how to ride motorcycles, but they're not confident in the bigger bikes. And so I'm thinking to myself, in some aspects, as long as they have the Trike license, they've gone through the training, this here I think gives a little more confidence to somebody that's not intimidated by holding up a big motorcycle.
Absolutely.
Because that's a big challenge for people who ride motorcycles, bigger ones. Mm-hmm. It's very intimidating, that heavy bike. You know, so this is a bike, if I get this is more about others can ride it. As long, like my daughter, she would have to get a Trike license. Mm-hmm. But since I'm a veteran, I've been a motorcycle rider my whole life, I'm grandfathered in, yes, so I don't have to go do all that. So, but that's good information. If you're on my channel watching this, if you want to buy a Trike and you're a relatively new rider, you're going to have to take a Trike class. Do you guys provide that, or do you?
Yes, sir, we do. We do. And I can get you a card on that if you want to show the information on there. Okay, let me go grab that, Gary.
Yeah. And so, anyways, cool bike. But you know what's incredible is you just have to say to yourself, why wouldn't they put a heated grip at least on this bike? You know what I mean? I get it. It's all about the money. But, my gosh. And then the other thing is, I think next year you're going to see the new platform in this bike. Yeah.
So with the fairing changes that they did in the
right. I mean, I really wish that the 24 would have jumped to that new level, because I think when they show the release in January of the new touring models, I feel very confident it's a CVO platform. You know, but I think they're just going to try to get one more year. So the gentleman here, is it Hunter? What's your name?
I'm Riley.
Riley. Yes, Hunter is out here saying it. So right here is the 5-star services. So is this affiliated with them or separate business?
It's a separate business.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
That uses this location for it or somewhere else?
We have a beautiful back parking lot back there with lines and obstacles. They store all the bikes that they use for the training class in that shop back there.
Okay.
They do everything on site, and it's pretty much every weekend.
Now, how much does it cost somebody to do that?
So it's $225.
And how many classes do you take?
So it starts on Saturday with an 8-hour course, and then Sunday at 6.
Wow. So a weekend adventure.
Yep,
and then
you leave licensed as opposed to if you go through the DMV, you would get your
temporary
permit.
Right.
Hold that for 30 days.
Right.
And then you can go to a DMV location and take the riding test with them.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
That's great information. All right. We got the guys now checking out the Indian. So now we got to get over here and take our focal point off of this. Wow. Talk about a big showroom, big facility, very nice operation too. So, and they got a decent amount of inventory as well. Got sales going on. Let me get my gear on, and that's interesting how this color looks better on the Street Glide. What's that all about? I don't know. Right. Back to the truck. So the plan is the other salesperson, Riley's going to ride the Tri-Glide while I ride the RG, and then we're going to switch it up to see if I want to ride the Tri-Glide. Look at that beautiful bike. Is that a beautiful bike or what? I really like my riding apparel. I got out there at Timbrook Honda, and it's inexpensive stuff. I'm trying to see the brand. There it is. And so it's really nice. All right, here we are. We're gonna go take a ride. I'm gonna ride this for the first ride, back roads, open. Then we're gonna switch and we're gonna do me on that and him on this. So stay tuned for the riding time. All right, so here we are riding the Trikes, the Trike, the Tri-Glide, and the RG3. And wow, I'm really impressed. This bike is a lot nicer than I thought it would be at high speeds. I was never able to really ride this at high speeds when I test drove it down there at Patriot. But right now, it's confident considering it's a three-wheeler. But at the same time, I'm really overtaken on how this really is a great ride. So the question will be, we're going to switch it up. I'm going to ride Tri-Glide now and see if I feel that they're pretty similar, or, I mean, I think this is the more fun bike, or Trike, whatever you want to call it. So we're going to continue our ride and follow us along. Right, so Raleigh and I are back. I'm going to ride. We switched it up. I rode the RG3 first, which I really felt that was a very comfortable motorcycle. Felt it was really good, even at the high speeds. Then we switched. Riley jumped on the RG3. I jumped on the Tri-Glide. Whole different motorcycle. It really is a big difference. And because the biggest thing you're going to notice is your seating posture, a little higher, your handlebar posture. This is the bat wing, or this motorcycle here. When you move the front end, this whole front end moves with this fairing. On this motorcycle here, it's the fixed shark fin, and when you move the handlebars, this front end doesn't move. So it's a much more confident front end. So when you're going down the road by tractor trailers, wind disturbance, this cuts through the air better, and it doesn't push on your hands steering the motorcycle. This here, unfortunately, the bat wings are notorious. When you get into the wind, you're actually being pushed around with your hands of steering the motorcycle. So on a Trike, Trike's already kind of, in some ways, some people feel dangerous because it's a three-wheel vehicle. And I just think that this type of setup here, I could definitely feel a little bit more of me being pushed around that front end. That kind of gives you that kind of like, ooh, I don't know if I really like that confidence of this motorcycle. The other thing is, this, since it doesn't have the rear touring pack, you can hear the exhaust note. Even without putting a bigger exhaust system on this, it already sounds really good. This here, because of the tour pack, you really can't hear the exhaust. You hear more of the engine as you go down the road. I noticed the wind this here actually does a really good job of keeping the wind off of you, but at the same time, I noticed on my helmet that my face was, my front shield was fogging up on that, but it wasn't fogging up on this. So this is actually giving you a little bit more air, and I like how this has the feature here where you can actually close that or open it. I think they took that away on the Batwing. Yeah, see, it used to have that right here. That is now gone. I like the instrumentation setup better on the Shark. I like the better idea of your little storage compartments here. You have 2 of those on each side, which gives you a nice things to put some little things in there for you. You don't have the lowers on the RG3, but I was amazed that the wind wasn't too bad. I mean, I'm in nice gear, so I'm not really getting cold. My feet didn't get cold. I mean, I don't know if you have availability, if you ever want to put lowers on this or not. I would think if you, maybe you could, but it makes the bike look a little more clean. The tires are a bigger tire and wheel package. So believe it or not, this does have a bigger wheel package, and it seems to track a little bit more. I was watching Riley go down the road in front of me. It seems like he danced around more on this than he did on that one. I could see how you kind of maneuvered around. For the guy that's a married man and his wife wants to ride with you, I'd have to say you're probably going to be more forced to get this over this. I can't see this being a very comfortable 2-up machine on a long trip, even though I'm sure you can make it all work, because it's a whole different setup where you would think that this would be the same trunk style as this, because since this has a tour pack on it, you literally have a trunk that opens down like a tailgate. This over here, because you have this nice tour pack, and so by far the touring bike, this is going to win on the touring bike because of storage in this compartment here, storage in your tour pack. I don't know if these here open up or not. I don't know if those have the actual radiator. Yeah, you get the radiator coolants in there. So years ago, you would have availability that this was actually a storage area, but that's not now because they've got the radiator cylinder heads being cooled from that. You got the lower here to get the air into you, and so that's nice. But once again, for the real fun machine, I think this is the better package, and this is more fun. It's more confident. I went down the back roads, and even Riley was behind me, and I'm sure he sounded like that guy's moving pretty quickly, but it handles the back roads so much better. And I think the wheel, the combination of the wheels and the blacked out motor, the blacked out handlebars, it has just such more of that really cool look. And you can get these things now in like the gray color, the black, that new, I call it the lava red. What's the official color?
So it's red rock.
Red rock, okay. So the red rock, so you do have options, but I think this is a really nice new theme color to the Harley family, and I think it would really go well in my collection of all my cars and motorcycles. So there you are. That's my impressions of the 2024. This is the 2024 Harley Davidson, and this is called the Shark Blue. Shark Fin. A skin?
Shark skin blue.
Okay, so I have hearing aids. That guy there in his Raptor truck, is that a Raptor R? I have no idea. So Shark Skin Blue. That's the color. And if you pay a lot of attention, you'll see the nice pinstriping, you know, the attention to detail. And you can get yourself a little, you can change out the seat in this to a heated seat. You can change out the grips to heated grips. You can make this a little bit more comfortable for the person in the back, where you could get yourself a nice sissy bar so they'd have some rest. So I think a nice day ride bike for a passenger, this would actually be pretty good. I think you'd do okay. And so anyways, gonna wrap it up with that. And now the real question is, does Skyline Harley get me excited enough to part with this beautiful Indian motorcycle that is an incredible motorcycle? And so many would say you're a fool to get rid of this motorcycle. And, well, I can always buy another one. I can always buy another Elite motorcycle if I want. So it's not like they're not going to make those things anymore. I think this is a great change up, and I want it. But let's see if they can make the numbers work, so stay tuned. All right, I'm leaving. I am leaving. You know what? They've proposed a really great deal, but I just can't let go of the Indian. I can't do it. Too nice a motorcycle. Not going to do it. I'd so much rather just get my Indian Pursuit bought back and then start all over and then reevaluate on the RG3. So it's not going to go down. So the Final Frontier, I guess, came to the Final Frontier, or did it? Or did it? Or did something else happen? Does something else happen? And I had my little boy out there hanging out with us in the Sherm. But maybe something else happens. I don't know. I don't know how that'll play out. But we'll just have to continue on. As I have it's pretty classic. There's a guy here, nice guy, that's going to watch my channel. They came in, and his son was recommending that he come check out a Harley Davidson before he buys something. And he's evaluating what makes sense, and so he's getting ready to test drive a limited Harley Davidson Limited, the Batwing style, not the Street Glide Limited, I guess you'd say, over the Road Glide. And so he's a big guy, and I was sharing with him that, hey, before you come to closure, why don't you sit on my Indian motorcycle, because he's a big guy. And I said, I want to show you on how you're probably going to be more comfortable in the Indian. So now I would have to say that this guy is going to probably go to the Indian dealer, and he's going to probably check out an Indian, but he's a big guy. I can't emphasize enough. If you're a big guy, I think you're better off on the Indian motorcycle, because Harley to me is cramped. And I've always have said that. And yeah, am I buying Harleys? Yeah, I am in some ways, but the Breakout, no way. The Breakout, you're not cramped on that. I mean, I know that. I'm talking about the touring bikes, the Street Glide, the Road Glide. Even that RG3 that I just drove, you can feel on how it's kind of, cramped to a degree, but not that bad. But it's a fun bike. That RG3 is fun, but it doesn't give me the fun factor to sacrifice my really nice Indian, because I just can't. I just don't want to do it. I just can't do it. So I'm sure many people watch my channel will be like, that's the smartest damn thing you've done in a while, Mr. Iceman. I'd be like, yeah, I think so too. I don't disagree. Now my friend Chris is in there trying to buy a motorcycle. That is so funny. Chris, my good friend that rides with me, he's really wanting to get rid of his Indian for a Harley. What's going on, right? Is the Iceman having influence? I don't think so. I don't think that's really all of it, but anyways, the adventures. I head back home, and for the record, I didn't buy anything. Wow! Or did I, as the phone rings? And the Final Frontier day. Are we coming to the Final Frontier? I'm sure some on the channel are saying, man, I thought for sure you were going to dump that Indian for that RG3. But you know what? I just don't feel good about it. I really don't. So if you watch my channel a lot, I think a lot of people will just take assumptions. That guy goes and buys something instantly. And I don't. I really don't. So I've been trying to buy that RG3 now for like the last 3-4 months. And it's just, I don't want to give up my Indian. I'm just not there. That Indian is such a nice motorcycle that I just feel like, no. But here's the deal. The auction price on that bike is like $23,400. So if it goes, or I should say, whatever the term they use, it's $23,400. There's no way. So on the 24 model that I was looking at, that shark skin blue, they had me at 26 trade, and then they had me at 27 grand trade. But even for them, they were kind of like, we're really just out giving you there's not much of a deal here for us, but whatever. So I was like, I really was like 28 grand, and I'll do the deal. So then they went round and round for a while. So then she came back, a piece of paper, and he showed me getting 28 grand for the trade on that Indian. But it wasn't for the shark skin, it was for the gray colored one. That's a 2023 leftover. So they were very, very aggressive on the 23 or 24, meaning that it was about a $3,000 difference on the actual amount of money I'd be financing if I took the 23 deal. So, 23 is not bad. That's not a bad looking color, but at the same time, I'm just not really ready to let go of this Challenger. I just something about it. Seeing this thing sit on my trailer at that dealership, I'm like, it's such a good looking bike. I just think I'm an idiot to let it go, and that's what's really played out. Is I'm just like, nah, I'd rather set it out and wait for the Pursuit to get finalized and then reevaluate. But now what I'm doing, I'm going to take the Indian down to my Motorcycles of Dulles dealership, because the bike's got an check engine light on it, maintenance light on it, something. It needs to be remapped. It definitely needs to be remapped for that slip-on exhaust. So the bike's on the trailer. Yeah, it's going to kind of take up the rest of the day, but I just got to thinking it's far better to get this thing into the dealership and put it to bed and have them work on it, get it serviced, and then just kind of take a time out on the RG3, even though they're trying to get them to buy the deal right now with no trade and just adding another account, which I don't think they're going to get that done. So that's where it stands, and I'm heading to Motorcycles of Dulles to drop off the bike. But then, before I leave that place, you'll see me driving off of the FTR. Wouldn't that be the damn truth?